Big loss for President Trump tonight. 3 federal judges ruled unanimously the government cannot enforce the president's travel ban for now.
Yeah, but the president vows to keep fighting, saying America's safety depends on secure borders. Okay, KCAL9 political reporter today, Bryan joins us now with a look at the ruling and what could happen next after all this.
Yeah, this is certainly not a fatal blow to the travel ban, but it's not a flying start either for this. President Trump's travel ban executive order will not be going back into effect anytime soon. At least that was the impact today of a federal appeals court decision in San Francisco. The president vowing to fight on and win. The court's decision, however, is a serious setback for one of his most important initiatives. A 3-judge federal appeals panel delivered a unanimous ruling Thursday, which was a complete rejection of President Trump's push to reinstate his controversial immigration order, an order that would have temporarily banned refugees and residents of 7 Muslim countries from entering the U.S. for 90 days. And Washington state officials who won the order blocking the Trump travel ban were not shy in claiming victory.
This is a complete victory for the state of Washington. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, in a unanimous decision, effectively granted everything we sought.
Just minutes after the ruling, President Trump made it clear he will appeal the decision and continue the fight while criticizing the court decision.
It's a political decision, and we're going to see them in court, and I look forward to doing it.
So you believe the judges made a political decision?
We have a situation where the security of our country is at stake, and it's a very, very serious situation. So we look forward, as I just said, to seeing them in court. But it's a decision that we'll win, in my opinion, very easily.
And are you?
And by the way, we won that decision in Boston.
The immediate impact of the ruling is that citizens from the 7 affected nations can continue to travel to the U.S. if they have the proper paperwork. Washington State and Minnesota filed a request for a temporary restraining order against Trump's travel ban, arguing, among other things, that it barred entry based on religion and was therefore unconstitutional. Legal analyst Steve Meister says the appeals panel ruling is a serious blow to the Trump executive order.
This was a total rebuke. It was a unanimous decision by an appellate court, a politically balanced appellate court, I might add. So much for the notion that Republican appointees are going to do one thing and Democratic appointees are going to do another. This was a 3-0 decision, and it was a simple no, sorry, you lose, Mr. President.
But California Republican National Committee member Sean Steele from Orange County says when it comes to the substance of the Trump travel ban, he expects the courts will uphold the ban.
And this is a fundamental issue that goes back to the Constitution of 1789. Does the president have power to control our borders? Does the president have power to protect our national security? And the founders made it very clear that he does.
However, Loyola Law School professor Kevin Lapp, who teaches immigration law, says it will be tough for the government to successfully appeal today's decision to the high court.
If they go to the Supreme Court, it's going to be decided by an 8-person Supreme Court. And if that court splits 4-4, that means the Ninth Circuit decision stays in place with regard to the executive order.
Now, next move is up to the Trump administration and the Justice Department, but as Professor Lapp indicated, they may not have many options on lifting the temporary restraining order, so the focus may now turn to arguing the substance of this case for a decision on whether the president's order is constitutional or not. Lena?
Yeah, Dave, so how much impact do you think this has on President Trump and his administration, political impact?
It definitely has some serious impact. If for nothing else, it comes so early in his administration. First, we have to emphasize that today's ruling was not a repudiation of the substance of President Trump's travel ban, but the judges certainly made it clear that even on the substantive issues, they have lots of questions and problems. So this is a very serious blow to President Trump, who during the campaign made closing off the borders to Muslims a key item on his political agenda to make America safe again. And beyond that, even Trump's allies acknowledged this particular executive order rollout was clumsy, rushed, and amateurish. Not a good start for a new administration after less than 3 weeks, Lena.